I thought that worked too. All right, I am back out with Pete out in the Boundary Waters. We are at the Mudro entry point, heading out for 4 days, 3 nights. It's Friday. We're gonna camp Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and head out Monday. There is a lot of people at the trailhead at the entry point. I counted 35 cars, so definitely a busy one out here this weekend. So we'll see how many people we see once we get out here. But should be a good time. We got really good weather for this weekend. Aside from tomorrow, we're looking at some rain, but I think we can deal with 1 day of rain. Check back in later. All right, we are on one of the portages, and it's not a very long one, about 80 rods. For those of you who don't know what a rod is, that's kind of what they measure distances in the portages. So each rod is roughly 16 feet, which is the length of a canoe. So like I said, this portage is roughly 80 rods. And pretty steep hill. It's actually called the, what was it, the Heart Attack Hill?
I think so, yeah.
You can understand Heart Attack Hill. You see how steep this is and how rocky this is. So this will be a fun one on the way out Monday. All right, we have made it to camp. Beautiful spot on the lake. And as far as many people are at the trailhead this morning, as many cars as I saw, we haven't seen many people out here and not a single person occupying any campsites. So we've kind of had our choice of whatever campsite we want. It's been kind of nice. So we grabbed this campsite, which has been rated a 4-star campsite. And it is pretty nice. We got some shade, got plenty of trees, got some giant trees behind me, which everybody knows I love me some giant trees. So definitely a cool spot. Pete's got his hammock. I got my tree tent, so I'll figure out where I want to set up. Check back in a little bit. All right, camp is all set up and we're just kind of sitting here hanging out, relaxing. It got pretty hot today. It was only supposed to be like 77, 78. Both of our thermometers are reading 85-ish. So it got warm today, and when the sun comes out, whew, it's warm. But I can kind of show you camp now that we're all set up here. Right over there is my tree tent, a beautiful view of the lake. And then I'll take you over here to where Pete has his hammock set up. There's where our kind of canoe is sitting at our entry point to the campsite. But then right here behind to these 2 massive trees is where Pete's got his Superior Gear hammock. Look how giant those trees are. Sweet. So right now he is off looking for the latrine. We still haven't found the latrine yet. We're imagining it's got to be somewhere back there, so we will find it eventually. But tree tent all set up, and What a gorgeous sight. Alright, it is dinner time. We're gonna make some food, and I'm making for this trip the Mike Ghost special that he taught me out in the Badlands. I've got some shredded beef down here, boiling in the water, and then I'm gonna put it on some tortillas with a Taco Bell hot sauce packet. Sweet.
And it's probably almost borderline too windy.
I know, it's right on the edge, I
Holy
think.
cow, there's a lot of meat in there.
I know.
Way more than I would have thought.
Yeah. All right, it is morning. We are up braving the mosquitoes early in the morning. We woke up and they are thick. I mean, probably the thickest I've ever seen in my life, tied with Colorado last year. And we got out of our tent and hammock, and there was hundreds just hovering around us. So we lit up the thermocells, got a little, what do they call, a little coil, a little mosquito coil going. And now we are all cleared out, so there's not a single mosquito flying around. So I think we're gonna get some breakfast now. Check back in later.
1 1/4 cups.
All right, we were making breakfast, and we heard what sounded like a giant waterfall off in the distance. And you see what happened. So we're taking shelter right now. Hopefully this doesn't last long, because everything that's underneath my tent, I feel like is getting wet. All right, we are leaving camp. We have packed up after the rain, and it is now muggy. It feels like the South American rainforest out here right now. My glasses are all fogged up. I can't even see out of my glasses. It is insanely muggy, humid, and now hot with the sun out. So we're gonna try to get to camp as quick as we can today and see if we can't just relax and find some shade. There's zero wind out here, as you can tell. Look at the lake. I mean, it looks beautiful, but it's hot, it's muggy. It's gonna be a rough day. All right, we have made it to what we are hoping is our last portage of the day. And this last portage is actually where there's a campsite, and it's epically gorgeous. You got the river coming out right there. You got the big lake behind us. I mean, it's gorgeous over here at the site. And what makes it even more of a gorgeous site is it's practically a campground over here. Let me take you inside the side right here where there is tent pads galore. You could camp 10-15 people in here. Of course you can't with permits, but I mean you could fit a lot of tents in there and hammocks. And then when you come out, you can come down to the lake on the other side of the campsite, because this is where the lake that you would be portaging to. And you got the other lake right here. And I don't know if you can see, I'll zoom in with the camera, but though you can see that forest right there is all burnt up. That one was there was a forest fire, I think last year, Pete said, and they were able to get it out pretty quick. But if you look closely, all this is all burnt up. Yeah, we haven't died, but we might. All right, we have kind of switched up plans for the day. It is really hot, really humid out here, and we kind of been outrunning this thunderstorm right here that's been chasing us. So we're kind of hoping to get to either a campsite at the last lake before the trailhead, or we might just head on out tonight if it works out. We're gonna play it by ear and see what it looks like when we get to the next lake, but we're gonna head out this portage right here and head up that hill in this portage. And then once we get to Mudro Lake, there's a campsite on that lake that we may or may not take, depends if it's taken, depends how we feel. But yeah, we're pretty beat and spent today. The humidity and heat has got us. So I will check back in once we get to Mudro Lake and make a decision. Well, this is camp for tonight. No, it's we're waiting out a rainstorm underneath the canoe, propped up on a tree. Gotta do what you gotta do out here. But we're calling it. I think we're heading home tonight, or heading out at least. One more smaller portage after this one, and we're out of here. So hopefully this rain lets up quick. It looks like we're on the edge of the storm right now, so should be over pretty soon. All right, we have made it back to the entry point. We called it for today. It's been pouring down rain all day. Right now is about the only time it's been not raining this entire trip back to the entry point. So It was a great trip, a lot of new stuff that I experienced. But what we both experienced was the heat and the humidity. Pete said he's been coming up here for 30 years, countless trips, and he's never experienced the heat and the humidity like this up here before. Of course, like he says, July is kind of a bad time to go anyway, but we went for it, and we made it out all right, though, and had a good time. So that's it for this trip. Catch me on the next one.